LoreWarrior Armour. Hachiman Fire Support Tank. Overview. Designed as a fire support platform, the Hachiman receives little respect from warriors, but its effectiveness ensures that most clans field several of them in their townments. Moderately armed and armoured, this vehicle is equally at home in a standoff or close support role, but lacks the ammunition for either prolonged engagement. Capabilities. The armour and structure of the Hachiman use advanced composites and construction techniques to provide the vehicle and its crew with maximum protection. Each of the crew members operates from within their own armoured compartment, and core systems, such as the power plant and ammunition bins, are similarly protected. Though a lucky hit may still disable a vital system, most armour facings are proof against multiple hits. Even the weaker rear armour can sustain an attack by the largest caliber autocannon and leave the vehicle fully operable. Intended to minimise the effects of a penetrating hit, this compartmentalised system has been met with mixed success. An advanced tactical coordination system, or TCS, aids in communication between the crew compartments, yet all but the best trained crews will suffer a noticeable reduction in inter-crew communication, which in turn reduces the fighting effectiveness. Crews and commanders scorn the Hachiman's interior configuration, but scientists cast studies indicate that it gives the Hachiman the highest crew survival rate of any clan armoured vehicle, as well as the highest incidence of salvage equipment. In most circumstances, the Hachiman does not allow an enemy to approach close enough to cause potentially fatal damage. Its primary armament of a pair of LRM-20s, which provides a devastating standoff punch, is unhindered by the arming delay used by Innosphere systems. These launchers can engage targets at point-blank range. In either case, the mating of a sophisticated fire control system with the launcher ensures a tight grouping of missiles and improves the volley's damage potential. Because the Hachiman carries only enough ammunition for 2 minutes of continual LRM fire, the turret also includes a pair of extended-range medium lasers to provide defense when the ammunition is exhausted. A fixed forward streak SRM rack rounds out the Hachiman's armament. Deployment. Though predominantly found in garrison clusters, the Hachiman is regarded as an offensive rather than defensive platform. As such, several of the pro-vehicle clans, including the Blood Spirits, Hell's Horses and Star Adders, employ them in frontline roles. Indeed, both the Alpha and Omega Keshiks of clans Hell's Horses incorporate this design. Right, I had a bit of trouble with this one, like getting this one. I don't know why that redo. God, if there was only the bloopers I'd put in. Oh, so many bloopers. Anyway, this is a 50-ton vehicle. It's tracked. It has a fusion of 200 on the power plant. Its cruise is 43 and its flank is 65 kph. Its armour is compound G5 ferrofibrous. Its armament is 2 Series 2D extended range medium lasers and 2 Type 20 Great Bow LRM launchers with Artemis fire control, and a single Pattern J6 Streak 4. It's manufactured by various groups, and its communication system is the J&E integrated with targeting and tracking provided by the Build 2 JRD tabletop simulator with Artemis 4 fire control system. And what a beauty it is! Is it not beautiful? Look upon this wedge vehicle with a turret on the top and weep, for we have found the greatest of the armoured vehicles that there has ever been. This is a vehicle that moves at 4 and 6 mate. 4 on cruise, 6 on flank. It has 10 heat sinks, that's all it needs. It has 30 armour on the front, 29 on the sides, 19 on the rear, and 27 on the turret. Of course, its previous statement of it can take anything from all but the largest of... sorry, let me just double check this. Even the weaker armour can sustain attack by the largest caliber autocannon. No, I'm sorry, mate. If I double tap an Ultra 20 into the back of that, there is a high chance I'm going to go straight through and kill everything inside. That's a fact. 19 points, 20 on the rear I would understand, so drop 1 point of armour off the turret, put it on the back, we're fine. It can take the largest caliber AC, that's fine. It can't take a heavy Gauss rifle to the back, not much can, but that would at least, you know, sync up. Okay, it can take an AC-20 into the back and 1 point goes internal, which may or may not be death, but it's still 1 point of internal damage to the rear. I don't think you want to take that with any vehicle, because that means crit rolls, and crit rolls are bad. Crit rolls are always bad. But that said, it's 2 ER mediums in the turret, with 2 LRM-20s in the turret, and the 2 Artemis fire control. So it's getting in the turret. I don't know why they always split it like that. There's basically 2 tons of ammo for the LRMs, and a single ton of ammo for the Streak. So yeah, it's only got about 12 rounds of fire in total. for both launches, but on the table that's 12 rounds of fire. That's 12 times that you can roll for 2 LRM-20s to hit, and with Artemis that's potentially pretty good damage. It's not a bad vehicle in terms of what it brings to the table. It's kind of similar to what I was talking about in the previous one with the Epona. A pair of LRM-20s on a 50-ton vehicle is not a bad, not a bad setup at all. Yeah, it can be attacked by fast-moving units, but that means detaching fast-moving units to try and counter these threats, which can cause, you know, deficiencies in other parts of the line. Counter battery fire is probably the best way of dealing with a Hachiman. Visually, I like it. I genuinely do. Though, look at its face. Those lasers in the middle form a pair of really like wide-eyed, like, oh my god, kind of eyes. It's got its big ears, and it's got this little duck bill at the bottom. How can you not see that face that's there? But no, I like the design of the vehicle. I would love to have miniatures of this thing. I'd love to paint them like Star Rider colours or Hell's Horses or something like that. I think it looks nice. I love quirky design shapes like this. This kind of the wedge shape with the massive like cockpit driver's station thing is really it's a feature, let's put it that way, and it's become more and more predominant as we've gone through this TRO, and I'm all for it. Just this block that sticks out with a big pane of glass, so you can just see the driver just giving the bird, okay, you know, clans forever. As they drive fast, but yeah, it's different, it's unique again. It's definitely not going to be everyone's taste. Some people are, and probably quite rightly point out many of the failings of this thing from just a design standpoint. But as I said, I kind of like it. The one of the things that might be a bit weird is the size. It makes it look massive, because if that's the size of the driver's window and then you see the size of the treads, and obviously the way that the vehicle gets bigger at the back, how big is this tank, for instance? Because it gives the impression that it's quite a large vehicle. 50 tons isn't small by any stretch within Battletech's universe, but still, it does give you the impression that this is a big-ass vehicle. Also, I'm assuming that it must be a rapid launch of 5 missiles at a time, with the other 3 sets of 5 per launcher, just sort of having like a half or a split-second interval or something similar to, I think, the way the Atlas LRM was designed to fire. Because obviously there aren't 20 tubes there, so yeah, they fire in a kind of stream pattern. But it mentions tight clusters, so maybe it's tight clusters of 5 each time, possibly? Though I know the tight cluster also is supposed to be representative of the Artemis, making the missiles more densely packed when they launch. I don't know, I'm trying to come up with a reason. I'm sure these reasons exist somewhere. They work, probably. But anyway, that's the Hachiman. A glorious little fire support vehicle that it be. Until then, have a good one all. Thanks for listening. I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.